Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Apple, Spotify, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. I've been using Uphold since 2017. You can easily buy, sell, trade, and earn cryptocurrencies on Uphold. They have 10 plus million users, 250 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. As with all exchanges, you can buy and sell on them, but I highly recommend you custody your own crypto, not your keys, not your coins. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold, please visit the link in the description. All right, my friends, it was a big day for the crypto market. The Flare token is officially live. The distribution event has taken place. The tokens have been distributed to the exchanges, and some of you may already have gotten your tokens. I'm getting mine through Uphold because I did my Flare or my XRP snapshot with Uphold. As a reminder, this distribution and airdrop is only for XRP holders who participated in the snapshot in December 2020. So this is really big, my friends. And here they tweeted out, FLR is live. Flare is the blockchain for building applications that use data from other chains and the internet. So interoperability and DeFi is going to be big on Flare. That is its mission, guys. So very excited for the future of this blockchain. And personally, I'll be delegating my tokens to earn rewards. I don't necessarily need to cash out my tokens. If you feel like you need to do that, then do that. You always have to do what's best for you. No one else should be telling you what to do. So this was huge. Hugo and the team at Flare did a live stream, and they were sharing different stories, and there were a lot of builders on the Flare network talking about their projects as well. So very exciting time. Here, Josh Edwards of Flare, he tweeted out the following: over the last 7 days, Flare's APIs have handled 268 million requests. So things are ramping up here, guys. Very, very exciting times. So if you got your Flare tokens, leave a comment below in the comment section on YouTube. For those listening on YouTube, I know some of you listening on the podcast sites, but it's just an exciting time. So I hope those of you who participate in this snapshot are getting your tokens. All right, guys. Also, Ledger, the Ledger hardware wallet, they're supporting, of course, the Flare tokens. They said, "Hey, XRP holders, we're ready for Flare Network's FLR token distribution later today. You'll be able to add a Flare account in Ledger Live at launch. So you can, of course, store your Flare tokens on the Ledger hardware wallet. I'm personally going to be using the Bifrost wallet, which is a self-hosted wallet where I control my own keys, and I'll be delegating there. So you can put it on the Ledger hardware wallet as well. And by the way, if you don't have a Ledger hardware wallet, that's the hardware wallet I use. I have multiple of their devices because I think it's the safest way to store your crypto. Check out the link in the description if you want to, get a hold of this hardware wallet if you haven't got one already. All right, guys, the big news of the day, and it relates to crypto regulations. There are two items. So we have members of the House Financial Committee starting to ramp up their investigations around the FTX collapse and how the SEC failed. Now, just I think it was a couple of days ago, the House members were sworn in. And this is, of course, mainly the Republicans who won the House back, of course. So a lot of the Republicans are, of course, part of the House Financial Committee, which oversees the SEC. That includes Tom Emmer, Bill Huizenga, and these guys. And I recently interviewed Bill Huizenga, of course. Many of you saw that interview. And they're about to hold the SEC accountable. So Representative Andy Barr, who's part of that House Financial Services Committee, tweeted out, over 1 million retail users or investors are estimated to have lost $8 billion in the FTX collapse. If you or your family member were victimized, the Department of Justice is asking you to contact them through this email. He said here, the House Financial Committee will continue working to get to the bottom of this disaster. And they provided a kind of an article here on their website talking about what they're looking to do. And Representative Huizenga retweeted that statement from Representative Andy Barr and said, for the last 2 years, the SEC tried to convince us that regulation by enforcement would protect investors. Turns out it didn't. Gary Gensler will do anything to distract Americans from his failed tenure at the SEC. The House Financial Committee will hold him accountable. Love it, love it, love it. So we got them sworn in. Now, as Tom Emmer has said before, they have the gavel in their hand. They now control the House, and they are going to bring Gary Gensler in and grill him. And I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And as in my interview with Representative Huizenga, I asked him straight up, how are you going to keep Gary Gensler accountable? And he talked about controlling the purse strings, right? Cutting off his funding and how he can use the funding that he gets and so forth. So if you haven't seen that interview, be sure to check it out, guys. It's very insightful because it lays out essentially the steps that these folks are going to take to keep the SEC in control. And we know that's important, right? Because Gary Gensler is on the loose here. He's going after everything in crypto, exchanges, lending platforms, tokens, you name it. And of course, we know he failed, epically failed. He met with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX officials in his office. He didn't do his homework. He didn't do his work, right? He claims to be the cop on the beat. Where was the cop protecting us from FTX? Billions of dollars lost. He claims to be the cop on the beat, but he let Celsius happen and Voyager and 3 Hours Capital and Terra Luna. All of these things were not hidden in the shadows. They were big players in the crypto market. The SEC did not do their job investigating what these guys were doing and getting them to report and just doing their job, right? Protecting consumers and investors. Instead, he's going after Kim Kardashian, keeping up with the Kardashians, right? That's the highlight for him. They fined Kim Kardashian, a couple of $1 million, which is nothing for her. The next morning, Gary's on TV. Oh, yeah, I'm the cop on the beat. You see what I did? I got Kim Kardashian. I got DJ Khaled and all these people. And it's like the bank robbers are, emptying out the vault while he caught the kids stealing cookies from the cookie jar. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And I wish he could be fired. The only way he can be kicked out of the position is if the president does it. But he can be impeached or he can step down. So we'll see. Hopefully these guys can put pressure on Gary Gensler and especially with this FTX collapse and get him out of office and get somebody in there who can actually do a better job. Now, the other big news that I want to share with you guys, Cody Carbone, who's vice president of policy at the Digital Chamber of Commerce, he tweeted out the following. Tomorrow, talking about Tuesday, January 10th, the House will vote to establish a select committee on the strategic competition between the U.S. and China. Now, pay attention to this, guys. Why is this important to blockchain and crypto? Well, the select committee will create policy recommendations to counter the tech advances of China. Debate on these policy recommendations will undoubtedly include distributed ledger technology and digital assets. It's also another venue for industry advocates to educate and promote U.S. competitiveness. So make no mistake about it. CBDCs, crypto, digital ledgers, whatever, blockchain and all that will be part of it because China is not slowing down here. China has their CBDC live. And I think the US government needs to figure out crypto regulations, balance crypto regulations to get this right. So I think Cody's spot on here. And let's see what the details are in the discussion as to what they're going to do with crypto. I think we're seeing the narrative forming here, right? The FTX collapse, going after SEC Gary Gensler, figuring out crypto regulations as it relates to protecting investors and global competition, right? Because we're in competition, make no mistake about it, right? With China, with Russia, and so forth. And both are taking actions with crypto. We see that Russia continues to talk about legalizing crypto, and even Putin himself said, they have an advantage when it comes to Bitcoin mining. We've seen these things. These are facts. So it's just a matter of time for the U.S. to get their house in order here. And hopefully they can do it this year and get it right, guys. But the narrative and the discussions, I think, are going to get more serious given the collapses we saw yet last year, especially around FTX. So big update here, and I'll keep following this to, make sure you guys are up to date on what's happening. Now, we have not heard from Barry Silbert, Tyler Winklevoss, or Cameron Winklevoss. And I tweeted at all three of them. I said, please tell us there's a resolution to the Genesis Gemini earn situation. Come on, guys. We need to get this sorted out. Like I've been saying, I don't want Genesis to collapse. I don't want Grayscale to collapse. I think that'll be really bad for the market, given how much Bitcoin they hold, how much crypto overall they hold, and the level of status that they've had for over the years, guys. It would be really bad. But I put it out there. The scenario exists where they could collapse, and it would not be good for the market, of course. And it could send the price of Bitcoin down to 10K. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Let's hope everything goes according to plan, and it's comes out good on the other end of it. But we'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, the price of Bitcoin is still holding strong over $17,000. We got some macro level charts here from crypto analyst Crypto Rover, who's showing that Bitcoin is bouncing from the legendary support line here, showing the support line from the previous bear markets, where the price of Bitcoin hit a bottom, and it's looking good so far, but you got to let these things play out. He also highlighted that 19,000 is the resistance to break for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can do its rally, go over $18,000, and then hit 19 and then get rejected, and then that will be a bad sign that we could go back down. It's not go back down, but we are going to go down to lower lows, and that could be 10K. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'm just looking at all scenarios and preparing for all scenarios. Hopefully it breaks through $19,000, and maybe we see that rally I've been talking about, guys, that retracement, right? A la 2019. We'll see what happens. We got to be patient here. We are still in a macro bear market. I'm waiting to see what the Fed is going to do. They talked about ramping down rate hikes, and I think the incremental rate hikes could be smaller, like, it could be 25 basis points versus 50 or 75. So we got to get through a lot of headwinds here, but we're moving in the right direction. It's like you have to go through it, right? You got to go through it, the eye of the storm, to get out to the on the other side, guys. So let's see what happens, but things are starting to heat up here in the crypto market. I'm really interested to see what the House is going to do with Gary Gensler and the SEC. Once again, they're tweeting out, they're putting out letters. The narrative is forming here. So let me know what you guys think. And also, if you got your Flare tokens, leave them in the comment section, and I'll talk to you all later.